you can supersede your feelings with the power of your thoughts. And because our thoughts and feelings influence each other, they happen in this relationship, you always have the opportunity to think different thoughts and therefore generate different feelings, no matter what feeling you are starting with. You're listening to the Life Edit Project podcast, where busy, ambitious high achievers get the tools they need to fight perfectionism and overwhelm so they can smash their goals without all the drama. I'm your host, recovering overachiever turned professional life coach, Elizabeth Burrows. Let's get to it. Good day, good people. Welcome back to episode 48 of the Life Edit Project podcast. I'm your host, Coach Elizabeth, your favorite life coach on the interwebs. Listen, I don't know if you're keeping track. So this is episode 48, and that is actually season 2, episode 9, which is very exciting. I don't think I ever told y'all my actual vision for this season 2. But I have actually planned 24 episodes for season 2. If you have been around, then you may recall that last year, season 1 was 20 episodes plus an episode, a season recap. So like 21 episodes. But for whatever reason, for season 2, I feel like I have more to say. So I decided to make this season a little bit longer, and I added like 4 more episodes into the rotation. And then once I get through the 24 episodes of season 2, I will then do another post-season run of episodes. And so those episodes will be a little bit different than the regular normal episodes that you're getting right now during season 2. And I don't know what the post-season will look like for season 2, but whatever it is, the podcast will not go dark and it will still be worth you sticking around. So make sure you are subscribed. But that is so very far into the future. I don't even know why I started there today. You know what is right around the corner? My 1-year podcast anniversary. And that right there is blowing my mind. I haven't yet figured out how I want to celebrate my podcast anniversary. So, hit me up on social media and let me know if you have any ideas. I think that for now, I would just really love it if y'all would help me celebrate by leaving me some new 5-star ratings and reviews on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, since that's where most of you all are listening. That would just make my entire day. That would make my season and make my year. If you have no idea how to leave a 5-star rating or review on either of those platforms, you can get step-by-step instructions with visual aids on my website at lifeeditproject.com/podcast. And of course, that link will be in the show notes for your convenience because I like to make things easy for you. Okay, now switching gears, I'm really excited about today's episode because it's a bit of a departure from perhaps what you're used to hearing me talk about. So as I've been reviewing the topics that I've covered so far this season and some of the things that I'm still going to cover here in season 2, I have noticed that I tend to be a bit cerebral, very intellectual, and highly organized here on the podcast. And that is so interesting because the thing is, in real life, I have a lot more woo to me. I'm like a very woo person. And so I'm going to let a little bit more of my woo side come out to play today on this episode, but also throughout the rest of the season. So it's not always going to be the highbrow, super intellectual, very cerebral sounding conversations. Some of this is just going to be me talking through some concepts and throwing it out there and seeing what sticks. So what is on the agenda for today, you ask? Well, we are talking about feelings because there are very few things that are more woo than just sitting and talking about feelings. So today, I want to explore with you the wonderful world of human feelings because your feelings are a big part of your everyday life. And anything that is a part of your everyday life has the potential to be either of great benefit or a great hindrance in your life, depending on what you do with it. And because I am your favorite life coach, I am here to help you get your life all the way together. And today, I want to do that by helping you learn how to use your feelings to create more of what you want in your life. But to do that, I have to tell you what feelings are. So that's where we're going to start. All right. If you are ready, definitely grab your pen, grab your paper, because you might find some interesting things that you want to jot down, some thoughts that you may want to chew on after the episode is over. So grab your pen, grab your paper. It's time to dive in. Ready? Let's go. So, I want to start off this segment with a little bit of a controversial statement. Maybe it's the podcast equivalent of clickbait. Okay, here's what I want to say. Your feelings don't matter. And I know, I'm a life coach, so am I really supposed to say things like that? I don't know, but I said it. Your feelings, they don't matter. I mean, they do, right? But your feelings probably don't matter for the reasons you think they do. And I want to be super clear here. I am not saying that feelings are bad because they're not. And I'm not saying that you should not have feelings because of course you should. Having feelings is a totally natural and actually unavoidable part of the human condition. So if you are alive and if you are conscious, you are in your feelings because there is no way to be alive and conscious and not be experiencing feelings. It comes with the territory. And because feelings are so common and such a big part of the human experience, and because feelings can be so powerful and they're always with us, a lot of us tend to think that our feelings are actually running the show, that our feelings are in control. But that's not actually how this works. Or rather, that's not the way it has to work. So let's zoom out a bit. And let's talk about what feelings are. So I'm going to give you, I'm not going to say this is a Coach Elizabeth definition because it's not. I haven't tried to put my own personal spin on what feelings are, but I want to give you a little something to work with. So when I say feelings in this episode, I am describing both the emotions that we experience, that is, that instinctive state of mind that occurs in our brains, in our minds, under specific circumstances, plus the physiological responses that happen in our body as well. So emotions are part of feelings, but feelings also include the sensations that we experience even as emotions are happening. I hope that made sense. I have no idea. But let's rock and roll with this, right? So feelings come in all kinds of varieties and all different levels of intensities. So you can feel happy, you can feel overstimulated, You can feel angry or embarrassed. You can feel bored or panicked, etc., so forth and so on. So as I talk about feelings, one thing that I really want to come across is that feelings kind of have these two levels. There's often a level of feeling that is happening that is purely instinctive, purely reactive, and it's happening in response to some kind of stimulus. And that stimulus could be something that is external and in our environment or something that is internal to us, right? But there is generally a level of feeling that happens as a reaction. And that is a really universal experience of feelings. And because of that automatic, reactive mess that happens with feelings, we tend to think that our feelings are outside of our control, right? So if part of feelings is that they are reactive and our reactions are instinctive, it's very easy to believe that we cannot control our instincts and therefore our feelings are outside of our control. But that is only half of the story. That's just the first part, the first layer of feelings. As humans, we have a big, huge brain compared to other animals with a very large, very pronounced prefrontal cortex that gives us a different type of capacity than other animals and other biological organisms on this planet. Our human brains are uniquely designed to give us the capacity for reasoning and self-awareness and executive function. And all of those things together allows us to interrupt and disrupt that instinctive chain of feelings and to set off a totally different process instead. It's true that our instinctive feelings can have a major impact on our state of mind, which then impacts the kinds of thoughts that we end up thinking. But as human beings, we can literally activate a different region of our brains and decide to think different thoughts despite our feelings. And that right there is a game changer. And that whole relationship, that ability to disrupt our feelings with thoughts is why I started off this conversation by saying that your feelings don't really matter the way you think they do. And I'm saying that not because your feelings aren't real, and it's not because your feelings aren't powerful. It's just that you can supersede your feelings with the power of your thoughts. And because our thoughts and feelings influence each other, they happen in this relationship, you always have the opportunity to think different thoughts and therefore generate different feelings, no matter what feeling you are starting with. And when you can learn to shift yourself from feeling like a walking heap of trash to maybe just feeling like you just need a nice long hot shower, that is powerful, powerful stuff. You know, another reason we tend to put so much weight on our feelings is because we tend to act out based on our feelings. And when we do this so much and so often, it's very easy to then believe that our feelings control our actions. We feel tired, so we doze off. We feel hungry, so we grab a snack out of the pantry. We feel unmotivated, and so we don't fold the laundry. Or we feel insecure, so we point out someone else's flaws to distract from our own, etc., etc. We feel XYZ, and therefore we do 1, 2, and 3. But just because that is what happens so often does not mean that that is what we have to do. Taking actions based on our feelings is often the easiest thing to do. Taking action based on our feelings requires the least amount of effort and the least amount of work from us. And because of that, acting based on our feelings creates the least amount of resistance within ourselves too. But the thing about being a human being is not just that we can choose different thoughts to shift our feelings, but also that we can choose to take action that is seemingly incongruent with what we feel. To put it plainly, to put it another way, you can do things that you don't feel like doing. You don't need to wait to feel a certain way until you take action. You can just get started doing the thing and your feelings will catch up. Or maybe your feelings won't catch up, but you can still get the thing done. Ta-da! That is the magic of being a human. That is literally one of our superpowers. And it's these two special abilities that we all have, the ability to choose our thoughts and the ability to choose our actions, that makes our inability to choose every single feeling that we experience totally and completely irrelevant. Your feelings, they don't matter. I mean, yes, your feelings matter. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are real. But your feelings are also completely unreliable predictors of reality and possibility. So, if feelings aren't that important, do they matter at all? And of course, the answer to that is yes, because y'all know I love to talk about feelings. And if our feelings can be overridden, if we can override our feelings with our thoughts, and if we can take actions that aren't even based on our feelings, then why do we even need to spend time on our feelings in the first place? Well, the answer to that is because the value of our feelings isn't in the actions that we take per se. The value of our feelings is in the information and the insights that those feelings provide. If you feel tired, it doesn't have to mean that you need to stop what you're doing right away and take a nap. But it might be a signal that your body needs a certain type of rest. Or if you notice that you are feeling consistently tired every single day, it might be a sign that you're not getting enough good quality sleep on a regular basis. The feeling of tired, in this case, is giving you information to work with so that you can make informed decisions about how to carry on, about what to do, about what to change, and about what you need to spend time caring about. And that matters a whole lot. So, my lovely listener, what is your relationship with your feelings? Do you let them run you? Or do you ignore and neglect your feelings? Do you spend lots of time and energy trying to change your feelings? Or maybe do you spend lots of time beating yourself up for experiencing the feelings that happen to show up? Are you open to the information that your feelings are trying to deliver? Do you even know how to decipher what your feelings are trying to tell you? If you don't like your answer to any one of those questions, or maybe to a bunch of those questions, I would love to help you redefine your relationship with your feelings and help you create a healthier, more productive cycle of thoughts, feelings, and actions that help you create the results you want in your life, both at work and at home. And the way that I can help you is through my one-on-one coaching program. Simply visit the link that is in the show notes to book a sales call with me to get signed up for coaching. And you can start ruling your feelings instead of letting your feelings rule you. And I am ready to get started whenever you are, and even sooner. Because you don't have to wait to feel ready. You can just go ahead and take action right now. Okay, that is enough. That is all. That's enough woo for today. But you know what? I will be back with a little bit more of this alternative energy and perspective next week. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss anything. Until then, peace. Hey, thanks for tuning into this week's episode. If you have a question or a favorite insight from today's conversation, I would love to hear from you. Send me a message on social media. I'm in all the places. My handle is @LifeEditProject, all one word. And of course, my accounts are linked up in the show notes to make it easy for you. So holla at your girl. I'll be back in your ears next week with a fresh episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Life Edit Project podcast wherever you like to listen so that you don't miss a thing. Until then, peace.